So there's a lot of bullshit going on in the tabletop role-playing game world. The last time there was discourse, I got a lot of views, but I also didn't get a lot of satisfaction right here for this thing I love doing. So let me just get something out of the way really quickly, in case anyone couldn't see this and couldn't intuit my take on things. Fuck OGL 1.1. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's focus on the cool shit, the reason we play these games. Hi, my name is Tommy. Welcome back to the channel. This week on Wednesday Afternoon Worship, it's Dance of the Damned? Dance of the Dead? Book 3 of Hell's Rebels, Book of the Damned, Lost Omens, Impossible Lands. Let's talk about Mahathalla. If you're liking what you're seeing, like, subscribe, ding the bell. Stay caught up on all your stuff for now. Let's dive in. Okie dokie. So, Mahathalla's story is a long one. This is a deity that's been with us since the very, very beginning of Pathfinder, like the Chronicles series. With that much history being around, God, that's math is hard. Just under 15 years in the system as of this writing. Man, whew, I feel old. A very, very long time ago, Mahathalla was a psychopomp usher, one of Pharasma's servants. Those servants are responsible for the dead, taking care of them, helping them transition over into their final reward and stuff. As the Maiden of Mists, Mahathalla knew the ending of everybody except, well, Mahathalla herself. As you might imagine, that lack of knowledge can get under one's skin. Maybe she should have just asked Ravithra, am I right? Follow this card. Time and time again, she would ask Pharasma, hey, what's gonna happen to me at the end of all things? Pharasma wouldn't tell her, for logical reasons too, right? Like, I, Tommy, don't want to know how I'm gonna meet my end, because then I'm gonna get super paranoid about it, and I'll lose the enjoyment of day-to-day life. Unfortunately for Mahathala, she became obsessed, so obsessed that she abandoned her duties. Pharasma literally said that only those who travel the river can learn their final fate, so she did. She abandoned her role as a psychopomp usher. Her temples were destroyed. Considerably less panicking than like when Eridan disappeared, but I mean, depending on what books you've read, that was probably for the best. I digress. And then when this immortal being, more or less, got back to Pharasma, Pharasma revealed Mahathalla's fate, and it broke her. She fled the Boneyard, wandered the multiverse, hung out with the Sakil and Xibalba for a little while, and eventually she made her way to Hell, where Asmodeus himself received her. Present day, she stands alongside Dolores Isef and Ardad Lily as Queens of the Night, or other names if you read older books before the great cleaning up of content in Pathfinder, and has taken up the mantle of the Dowager of Illusions. Despite being an evil deity, her followers stick aside from the alignment chart in like stereotypical senses. Much more are they concerned with just prophecy and being above being told what their fate is or what destiny is or so on and so forth. Again, as ever, I think the text said it better. The Dowager is seen as a goddess of prophecy and truth, albeit painful truth. She's the one who strips away the comforting veils of reality, the one who shatters all the little white lies that people tell themselves to keep themselves going from day to day. She is certainly not a comfortable goddess, nor a kind one, but she's respected for the cold honesty she represents. But, mechanically, for the first time in a long time, here's a deity that exists both in 1st edition and 2nd edition. I'm going to start with 2e because it's a little shorter, and then we'll hit the 1e stuff. In 2nd edition, the Dowager of Illusions is lawful evil, the 1e special for follower alignments. Lawful neutral, lawful evil, and neutral evil. I'm sort of surprised true neutral isn't stapled in there based on how, like, detached from bias she is, right? Her divine font is to harm, divine ability is wisdom or charisma, her divine skill is deception? Huh. She grants access to the domains of fate, trickery, truth, and undeath. Clerics of Mahathala may prepare illusory disguise as a 1st level spell, misdirection as a 2nd level spell, and illusory scene as a 5th level spell. Her edicts become an arbiter of reality, capitalize on the ignorance of others, reject conventional wisdom as falsehood. I guess that leans more into the lying, illusion-y bit. What kind of an illusionist would you be if you couldn't lie about the illusions you were making? Yeah, fair. Anathema her. Become too invested in mortal affairs. Refuse to hear a truth out of preference for ignorance. Her favorite weapon is the Bola casting avatar. Gets you a speed of 30 feet, fly speed of 70 feet. You automatically succeed at all flat checks to attack hidden or concealed creatures. Okay, that's actually quite good. No melee attacks, but a hideous vision ranged attack that does 66 plus 3 mental damage. Rude. In first edition, Mahathala is lawful evil. Her domains are death, evil, law, and trickery, with the subdomains deception, devil, thievery, and undead. Her favorite weapon is the net. Her symbol is a bejeweled skeletal hand. Her sacred animal is the dragonfly, and her sacred colors are gold and ivory. To perform Mahathala's deific obedience, one must spend an hour in deep meditation, reflecting on the nature of the cosmos and your exceptional place above all others in the multiversal scheme, preferably while under the effects of a perception-altering drug. We'll get to that one in a second. We gotta wait for all the narcs to leave. Don't worry about it, narcs. We're not. It's fine. Shoo. In return, a big one. I've seen this one at tables before, and I've built around it. The DC of all illusion spells you cast increases by a whopping +2, and you gain a +2 profane bonus on saving throws to resist mind-affecting effects. Evangelist boons grant you access to ventriloquism thrice per day, hypnotic pattern twice per day, or major image once a day. At 16th level, because you have experienced incredibly realistic visions and memorable hallucinations as a result of a drug-fueled ritual to your goddess, you're better at making your own illusions. Whenever you cast an illusion spell with a duration of concentration plus rounds, you add your level to the duration. At 20th level, you can apply injury drugs to weapons as if they were poison. Well, I've been doing that anyway. Fair enough. All right, there you go. When you do so, the save is increased by 2, and you can't accidentally expose yourself to a poison or drug when putting it on a weapon, though you can still get exposed if you roll a 1 when you attack. Exalted boons grant you silent image thrice per day, invisibility twice per day, or create drug once per day. At 16th level, upon ingesting a drug, including those conjured by the create drug spell, I'm saying drug a lot, this video is gonna get demonetized. You heal an amount of damage determined by the severity of that drug's base addictiveness. 2d6 hit points for minor, 46 for moderate, and 6d6 for major. When you take Aditon, the drug associated with Mahathala, you automatically pass the will save. At 20th level, you gain a +4 saving throw against poisons and can no longer become addicted to drugs. All of the buffs with none of the downside. Nice. Additionally, you gain a +4 bonus on rolls to become stable when reduced to negative HP, and your lifespan is supernaturally lengthened. Each aging step, here's a table, is postponed by a number of years equal to twice your wisdom score. Because, like, you can't escape your fate, but you can be above it for a little while. Sentinel boons get you disguise self thrice per day, blur twice a day, or displacement once a day. At 16th level, while you wear armor not made of metal, its max dex is increased by 2. Oh god. That's really good too. This applies to armors normally made out of metal, but like made from bone or obsidian or your like dragon plate for druids or what have you. Additionally, the DC for entangled creatures to escape a net you wield increases by 1 for every 4 hit dice you have. Don't mind me, I'm pinning this in the back of my head for when I get a net and trident build together. I was not expecting to go this route, but you know what? Sure. And at 20th level, whenever you attack a target and have to roll a mischance as a result of like blur concealment, it's raining. Reduce that % mischance. That is, who wrote that? That's worded so shitty. Reduce the mischance by 20%. If this reduces the mischance to 0, the creature no longer counts as having concealment against you at all, so sneak attack and proc. Additionally, when you take Aditon, you automatically succeed at the will save. What the heck is Aditon though? Hang on. A dose of Aditon will set you back 2,000 gold. It's a contact drug with a fort DC of 20. When you are exposed, if you pass a DC 20 will save, your consciousness is transported to the mindscape for which Aditon is named. Your consciousness can linger there as long as you would like it to, and you can send yourself back to reality as a full round action whenever you want. If you fail the save against Aditon, you sleep fitfully for 2d6 hours and wake remembering snippets of surreal dreams. So like, if I'm understanding this correctly, this is like fort save or 1d4 strength damage, then will save, or you either leave your body, become flat-footed while you're in a mindscape and then can like oops yourself back when people start getting stabbed, or you botch the will save. and you fall asleep and get coup de grace. I feel like if this was written in 2e, it would have the rare tag, as it can only be purchased from worshippers of Mahathala who can create it with Create Drug. But where do I start with you, Mahathala? There's so much here. Because of the space that Mahathala occupies, her worship is so broad. It's evil not for the sake of hurting others, evil in the, like, I am better than the judgment of others. I opened Hell's Rebels because I wanted to read this. God, I am awash in spoilers for a campaign I am currently playing, and this is the most terrifying moment of my life. But yoinking from that ancient text, Mahathala's primary care is her followers' ability to spread the core tenet of her faith, that mortal existence is limited and meaningless. Through whispers of drug-induced visions, she pulls back the veils of lies that obscure the profound facts of existence. Each stage of her teachings reveals the pure meaninglessness of life, and she claims to mislead only to reveal deeper truths. Yet Mahathala is no anarchist. Lessons gravid with metaphor teach her followers that they hold the special ability to see through falsehoods and to craft their own, to find the grain of truth that pins every falsehood. That's interesting. That's wrong. Why is that way? Oh, I see. Those who recognize a lie can dispel it, make it true, or turn it to their service. Thus, her teachings strive to make her followers false arbiters of reality, convincing them that they are unto the gods themselves. Makes a lot of sense when you finally got that thing you wanted and it hurts you really bad and now you're taking it out on folks. Especially if Mahathala's ultimate end is a very grisly, gruesome, or bad one that someone who presumably she had at least a working relationship with Ul-Pharasma knew and then was withholding. Feels like a lie if you're not being totally honest and underneath that grain of truth, right? That said, with more stuff written about her, one of my favorite things about the continuation of Pathfinder is when deities get reprinted, you get different takes on them, which makes them feel so much more real. In Nex, Mahathala's faith is supported literally by the government. Why do I imagine the Arc Lords as the Council of Ricks now? That's terrifying. In that part of the world, the Arc Lords pride themselves as they have a perfect understanding of the world because of their education and shit, right? And they willingly accept the cost of that knowledge, though I imagine they turn a blind eye to a lot of it. Something, the correlation between folks in Quantium and folks at the Magambia. Mahathala in this case feels like that crutch you can lean on to justify that behavior, and then in return, Mahathala's nihilistic agency is further propagated throughout mortal existence, which serves the end goals of who knows. Perhaps Mahathala just wants to watch the world burn, perhaps this is break enough people to her faith, and then over a very, 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 very long time, they're sent to the caverns between a couple layers of hell, Void Portal, where she makes her home. Kind of disappointed that she doesn't live in the mindscape that the drugs take you to, though, for real. Like, they make such a big deal about it in at least the older text. Mind-altering drugs made by the clergy to break reality and then focus you on that pin of the lie, which is the actual truth, but that it doesn't come up at all other than, yeah, no, you go here, sit here, wait in the waiting room. Makes me want to get all of my nihilist friends together and not necessarily watch the world burn, but like be above the conflicts of things and just stir shit up. Anyway, this one's getting long. That's all the time I have for this one. What do y'all think? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. As always, thank you all so much for watching. That leaves Erasni. We'll see you next time.